done everything you've asked. Everything's going according to plan.
Governor, we won county, and the NAPAC has never been stronger. So tell us, Governor, what else can we do for you?
I got it from here. Welcome to another episode of Bears Swinging Lane Talk. This is the third and final series about disability, dating, marriage, and relationship. Once again, Mr. Ben McNeil is here with me to kind of get his perspective on this topic as well. But for this final series, I'm gonna basically talk about what we can do as a society to make not only disability people's life better, but everybody's lives overall. I'll get into that in a sec. Thank you for joining all three parts of you did so. I really appreciate it. Hope you told your friends right now, and I hope you really enjoyed this series. So, in my personal thoughts with this, disability dating marriage. One, I think it needs to be fixed in terms of everybody in the household and depending on what it costs to live in their specific state. Because not every state's the same like it is now. Some states are more poor, some states you have to pay a pretty penny to live there, and I think it should vary based on that. Also, I do think as a disability community, we do need to give able-bodied people a chance, as well as able-bodied people need to give us a chance. So in that regard, I really think if we do that in terms of marriage, because shockingly, people don't want to date somebody with a disability because they don't want to be awkward or stand out from the crowd. And I'm here to tell you, we're just like you. I mean, we have our own issues like we all do. And yeah, sure, we might have a couple of things we gotta communicate through that other people might not have. I'm here to say, if you give somebody a chance, you'll find that you will learn how to be more communicative, be more open, and not being closed off. So, in my opinion, what do you think that people should do to better this system and better their life as a whole?
Well, I think in general, like I talked about last episode, is just I think we need to not redefine, restructure how we interact between people with disabilities and people without disabilities. Because, like you said, like no matter where you're at, you're still a person. You know, the only difference is that one has a disability, one does not. We're still able to communicate. You know, we still live the same life. We have different circumstances, but different lives. And I think a lot of times, we want to debate which life is more valuable. The answer is they're both the equally valuable. And so we start there. And then I think from there, in regards to, because we've been talking about in regards to dating and marriage and what we've talked about is difficult to do that. Here's what I really think, though. I think if you're somebody with a disability, despite everything that's been put out there, we need to create a society or to change in a way where people don't have to fear, dating or getting married because they may lose their benefits. And to be honest with you, I don't know the solution. We talked about before, we're not experts, but I think the conversation needs to happen instead of just being okay with how things are. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, just finding a way where as we're growing together as people with disabilities, those that are not, understanding that people with disabilities, they have these benefits that they receive. And because of that, it automatically puts them in a way where they have to make that decision whether they're going to date, which should lead to marriage, And if they're looking at this and saying, well, if I get married, I'm going to lose all this, that's a very fearful thing for anybody to go through, whether you have disabilities or not have disabilities. And so I think there needs to be something set up where um, finding solutions for that. But I think that starts ultimately with the opening discussions, actually knowing each other and understanding each other and being willing to listen to each other. I think that is vitally important. And I think in general, the last thing I want to say is I think we just need to be less. I hate to use this word because I think sometimes it's used in the wrong context, but ultimately to be less judgmental or to make our own judgments of people and how, because like you said, people with disabilities, people without disabilities, they're not much different. They're still human, and we need to work to better ourselves to understanding each other and living life together.
And well said. And I gotta say, and this is not because of my parents or my friends. Knowing this for myself, I'm in that same spot right now. What you just mentioned on should I date, should I not, or should I just, stay home and watch TV all day? And honestly, if you want to live that way, that's fine. But that's not the way I want to live. And I encourage you, despite what the world tells you, start your own business, find friends that'll help you out. Like Mr. Ben here, he's helped me out plenty of times when I needed help doing some things. It all takes a system, and not just a system, it all takes friendships. That's what I meant to say. I meant to say friendships. Because not only do you have to deal with working around the system, and they make it so difficult because awfully enough people take advantage of it. As people talk about, South Carolina is the last one to readjust their system and make it better for their society, knowing that this is on a federal level. I think is the first thing we need to fix, because it starts with going through the House and going through the Senate, and then the laws might get changed, because it takes us advocating, signing petitions, saying, talking to our representatives in our state on making these laws happen. And if they want to make it a government issue instead of a state by state issue, I think that's where the big total comes in. Honestly, it shouldn't be that way. I feel like if they upgrade the payment based on the state needs and stop giving people that want to get married that have a disability, knowing that we gotta find different people to help us out. The general world uses the word caregiver and blah blah blah, and I hate that word. I really do, because it's like one belittling us as a disability person, like, oh, you can't do this for yourself. Let me get somebody that can take care of you. Most people are like, oh, bless your mom's heart, bless your dad's heart. I'm like, I do my own schedule. I live my own life. I might have to make sacrifices. Honestly, a lot of people with disabilities don't want to talk about their benefits and the SSI stuff, because they're worried about people saying, oh, you're just in it for the money. And I hope through this podcast series, you take it back and you realize that really the money is done as soon as you start, dating and, making that decision. Like, okay, I forgot how to support myself because I want to be able to support my own family like everybody else. And if you're on the fence of dating somebody with a disability, do not ghost them as soon as you realize they're in a wheelchair. Like, I can't speak for everybody in the world, but I can speak for myself. If I tell you I'm in a motorized wheelchair, I'm in a motorized wheelchair. And I'm honestly gonna give you a heads up, like, hey, I need help with this, hey, I need help with that. You know, it's basically if you want to meet up with me and then lie and go to the bathroom and sneak out the back door, how awful does that make you look back? In return, how awful does that make the person with a disability feel? When there's plenty of relationships that are on YouTube that have people have written books trying to deny the rumors that people still try to believe things ADA or the government fix everything with disabilities. The problem is everything's not fixed because they do not follow through on their promises. Now, I told you I'll get into that on the last podcast, and here's what I'll get into. Generally, people find these agencies trying to help us disability people to find a job. Now, that's great if you are, amputee or, know how to work machinery already, but if you're somebody like me with cerebral palsy, can only move like one side of your arm, and the other side is like a zombie and like a Scorpio has a sign. I say that because my wrist bends like a Scorpio most of the time. But like I went through several different agencies. I don't want to say their names because they might not have worked for me, but they worked for somebody else. And yeah, I'm happy. But I'm talking to those that tried everything and left on what term, where do I go from here? And the point being is you have to find your own path, start your own business. That's what I hope you learn. Never give up because you can find many people on YouTube thriving and living based on their lives and decisions and different personalities and different businesses that they run. And also, I like to thank everybody that recognizes I'm just a young person and I'm just trying to raise awareness of what I see that the world needs help in understanding. And I appreciate for listening. Ben, do you have anything else to add, or you want to wrap this thing up and call it a day?
No, I think it was really good. Thank you for letting me be a part of this series, and I hope to be on some more. That'd be great to have conversations like this.
I'm pretty sure that will be when we talk about scriptures in the Bible, some episode, in terms of how the Bible relates to a lot of things disability-wise, and people give the Bible credit. Thank you for being on. You can email me at BARAETS.SWAGGYLIFE@gmail.com.